What is going on, my team? What is going on, people? Good to see everybody this morning. What is up, Johnny Barnes? Good to see you, Lil AR-15. What is up, team? What is really happening here with a good CPI read? My goodness, I can't tell you enough how excited I am about getting that 4%, which means that essentially the markets are cooling off. The CPI, man, the inflation is cooling off. This is a good indication that the markets can continue to the upside. Just to be completely transparent, I've actually opened short on the SQQQ just to kind of keep that transparency there, right, you guys? Hello team, good to see everybody here today. Good to see everybody here. My goodness, we have made it to 6 within the 6 in the morning realm, right? So I'm very happy to be here with all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming by. I am very excited to be streaming this morning. So what's up, moderator Sebastian Lim? Good to see you here. Thor, how you doing? Snow Drifter, Johnny Barnes, everybody in here, man. Big Libby, what's up, man? Good to see you. Bill, sorry. So yeah, let's go ahead and start putting up our charts, right? So I have the SQQQ here, of course, because I am open short position on that. And we're going to be taking a look at a couple other tickers too. And yes, why don't we go ahead and also keep in mind our master layout here for ticker symbol GM. I did hear something about that, right, Johnny? So I'm thinking that, what are you trying to get long this? Remember, a lot of tickers right now are going to be long. They're going to be hella bullish, right? Because the markets are essentially going up. So let's go ahead and load up that ticker, right? So ticker symbol GM. And let's see what it's got going for us, man. Let's see. So, Sebastian M, what are you trading, man? Are you trading that what was it, that ticker RCRT? You're gonna end up holding up on that? Good. You said good morning, right? So you're talking about ticker symbol ALLR is the actual one, right? But look at that. Even so, General Motors was ripping to the upside. Very good stuff. Hold on just a moment, team. I see that we're actually making new lows. That's good on the SQQQ. Must keep that in my eyes, right? Because I am open on that position. So in fact, I do have my trading window on the right screen, that was the problem the last time when I came in the stream. I could not for the life of me see it, right? But this time around, everything is good. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move my analytics to the other window here. So this is this is what I look at, right? Those are the analytics that I couldn't see the last time. So yes, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that. Actually, hold on. I'm going to bring this back over here and keep the broker side on this side, right? Good deal. Oh my goodness. So tell me, team, talk to me. What positions are we open? What positions are we considering? What is the deal? What are you guys talking about? Because I know, man, I'm talking to you right now very safely. The tickers that we should be looking at are the top tier tickers right now, the ones that are essentially impacted by the broader markets, right? So that's going to create a serious little pump for the upside here. So I do see a lot of the small caps facing a little bit of red, but nothing major here, right? So ticker symbol ALLR was one that Johnny Barnes is looking at. So let's see what's going down with this ticker here, right? So I'm already liking that we're getting strong volatility here in the 8-hour read. So we're getting a reversion, right? So this is actually decreasing volatility with increasing stochastic momentum, which is usually indicative of a continuation to the upside, right? Of course, we have a little bit of red going on in that 8-hour, but let's go ahead and take a look at the immediate short-term time frame to see if there is something there for it, right? So immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute is looking nice. Let's see the hourly time frame. We're getting some downside on the hourly, and bi-hourly looks to be corrective a bit, right? So the 4-hour has some consolidation as well, increasing MACD. That's looking good. I can actually see this bottoming out if it doesn't actually, play against the trading rules here, of course. 1944, I think it could bottom out and continue on to the upside. It's not looking like it's too bad at all, my brother. So I feel like it's a good thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker too for you, my bro. So what are you seeing? VSCO, that is Victoria's Secret, right? So VSCO was one that I believe I saw a potential for a short position, right? Because of this triangle failure. We have a retracement here. So let's just go ahead and see exactly what it's got for us and understand what the probabilities are, right? But right here, we're actually noticing that the 4-hour momentum is suggesting a continuation to the upside. We also have increasing volatility, and it's now beyond that moving average. So this is officially volatility increasing. 4-hour time frame relative volume looks pretty it's still under bear control on the 4-hour at least. Let me see the 30-minute immediate short term to see what we have there. So the short term, the short term RVOL, we're actually looking at the moving average is actually just about to be crossed to the upside. Very, very interesting. It's actually this right over here. We're right at the resistance of it. Let's go back to the chart and see what else it's got. Upside on the hour, on the 30-minute, actually, we do have some. Let's just see exactly what it's pulling out. So hourly time frame also has an upside. Let's see if it's bled into the bi-hourly and see what else it's got. So okay, so the bi-hourly looks like it could be correcting from the hourly into 30-minute. But no guarantees just yet. Of course, nothing is really guaranteed, right? 6-hour time frame upside, 4-hour time frame upside, and we have that 8-hour and 12-hour with an upside. This could be a limited downside here. We could be looking at a potential floor at about, I'd say, the range between 1886 and maybe 1858 before a continuation to the upside. We really want to kind of keep a close eye on this, right? Because it is essentially feeding from the broader markets as well. So let's go ahead and go back to this over here and see exactly what we're doing. I'm barely in the money on the SQQQ short position, right? So I want to load up the broader markets here as well, right? So let's go ahead and take into consideration here the SPX and or the SPY, right? Actually, I think I might do the SPY because I actually do have further analysis on the SPY. I know what's happening within that a little more, but guys, we got a very, very good CPI read. This means that this means a few things now. Okay, so tomorrow, we're now looking for tomorrow. We're looking to see if I can go ahead and get you a new link for that, my brother. I realized that I didn't change it, and even though I say that it's gonna, in the instructions when I copy a new link for Discord, even though I say that I want it to never expire, it still does for some reason, and I think it's more for security reasons, right? But I honestly have to kind of commend them for that, right? As I wouldn't like to see a bunch of invites out there, right? So here is the Discord link attached to the chat. Please go ahead and refer to that if you would like now, actually, right? So there are people right now talking about whatever's happening in the markets. I did invite everybody to come over to to the live here with us. So another few things that we're going to keep in mind, guys, is let's see what else we can well, obviously, right, we want to see the Qs as well. So let's see the triple Qs for the immediate short-term time frame. I'm going to keep them all in around the 4-hour. What else is moving right now, right? So let's go ahead and pull up our scanner and see what we have that's actually let's see. So Nick Larson, thanks, Arca. Looking forward to Discord. Love you. I love you, my brother. Thank you so much for coming by. Really, this is a very good time to come in, right? As we may be seeing a potential pivot for a potential pivot for the broader markets, for the Fed, right? So that would be incredible for the markets. Okay, you guys. So right now, moderator Sebastian Lim is coming in saying that FWBI is ripping to the upside. Please notice here, you guys, this is an incredible rip to the upside. It is currently right now at 125.63%. In the money today. Oh my goodness. So this is a 126% rip to the upside thus far on the day. And Oh my goodness, take a look at the RVOL here, right? Oh my goodness, absolutely ripping to that upside. We're getting that critical volatility read on that 4-hour right now, on that 12-hour, right? So I can't even imagine what the 4-hour must look like. Everything should be getting just massively overextended, right? RSI getting into the overbought right now. Very, very good signal here from the DMI. Notice right here that the ADX dotted white line is sitting right at that 40%. This is absolutely in control from the bulls right now, right? So GNLN, the ticker that we were talking about yesterday, Sebastian Lim, is going down. I'm not sure if it was if I was talking to you about it. Oh, that was the play that I put up, right? We only got about half of the move to the upside before I actually got stopped out. So, man, too bad for that one. But FWBI, what is going down with this? Is this why is it ripping, right? Let's see. Does it have news right now? 12 minutes ago, right? First wave, biopharma shares double after meeting enrollment target for the I can't even pronounce that for it, but it's for a trial, right? So this is, I don't know that this is going to be a permanent run, right? So this is very good news. I do like it, but there could be shorts kind of waiting for that, right? So shorts could be waiting at a relative resistance here, and that resistance could have already been met. As I mean, me personally, if I were considering getting short the market on this ticker here, I would have probably considered right at the top side of that price action to about this zone right over here, right at about $3.11 open short, and then start to see the potential of getting a good probably what is this worth? 276, very, very cheap, super high risk, right? So a potential to come back down at least to this area of about 243. Nice little scalper there, right? So Thor, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. That really means a lot. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's see. Celebrate the first super chat from Thor. Man, this is your first one. Thank you so much, my dude. That is very, very, very kind of you, my brother. I appreciate you. Did I just look at it? Oh, that was you, right? So you have 20 cents on your VSCO position. Is that what you're talking about? Let me go ahead and go back to that real quick. So VSCO, and yeah, this was, I'm telling you, I put this play up, and I was waiting to see if we can get an upside on this, but then I noticed weakness. I think I put a short position on it. I'm not sure exactly what happened, right? So are you short 20 cents? 20 calls. Holy crap. All right, hold on just a sec. Yeah, it feels like it could be finding that support soon, right? So we want to pay attention to the shorter time frame RSI. So for example, this right here, right? So this can show us that there could be relatively limited downside, right? So oh, nice. They're probably going to triple. Oh man, come on. Getting a little bit of weirdness here on the display. I may actually have to switch displays right over here, you guys. Hold on just a sec. I may have to display something else because I'm getting, oh my goodness, come on. Are you guys seeing this glitch by any chance? Or is it just me? Because from my side, I am getting serious glitches on my screen right now, which is exactly why we were talking about yesterday, a lot of tech issues that I've been experiencing, right? But are you guys seeing this? Are you guys seeing the glitches, or is it just me? Let me know in the chat if you can actually see my screen glitch like crazy, or is it just me? My goodness. I think the screen actually just, FWBI seems like it's forming a rising wedge on. Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, hold on just a sec. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring back the screen here because I'm getting some glitching, right? So let me just go ahead and put this trading view on the other side, and now I'm going to go to my OBS software and see if I can switch the screen that I'm displaying in, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Let's see. Let's get out of the intro here, and there we go. Okay, so we are back here. We're definitely looking at the screen yet again. More and more tech issues, right? But it's all good, you guys. We're back, and we can see everything happening right now. So let's see. Let's get rid of this over here. Let's put it back on this side and make sure that we can continue seeing make sure that we can continue seeing the display here for trading view, right? Very, very cool. Thanks, you guys. Thank you for the patience. We're looking okay now. So let's see here. Yeah. So I was talking to you about this RSI here on the 4 hour, right? So we can see that there is a limited downside. Oftentimes when we're making a fresh cross above the 14-day simple moving average, we could actually see a retracement right back to that SMA 14 to test a support from it before continuing on to the upside, right? So that could be one of the situations happening right now, right? So let me just go ahead and get it even closer, right? So even in the 30-minute and see what kind of incline we're getting. There could be a moving average that we're following here, maybe the SMA 10. Let's see what it is. In fact, we just converted the SMA 10 into a resistance and we're bouncing from the EMA 55. Okay, so this is not bad right now, you guys. We want to just keep a close eye on this. Potential 48 seconds to go on this bearish engulfing here. There could be a little bit of a continuation to the upside based, of course, on that 4-hour time frame period, right? If that is the case, then we do have that exponential 21 period at about 1850 where we can find some support before a continuation to the upside. And now, Sebastian Lim, you are talking about FWBI creating a wedge. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now and see what it's got going for us, right? So FWBI, and what time frame were you looking at? The daily? Because I assume that it could be within that, right? So oftentimes, man, those wedges do play a nice role. Yeah, not a problem, Thor. Happy to help you. We have a. This is also. I mean, if this is a massive gap up, right? Huge gap up. The invalidation zone is clearly $2 and let's see, yeah, $2.67. You're looking at the 5-minute. That wedge, it does not have too much weight on a 5-minute, okay? But it is, let's see. Actually, man, this is a continuation formation. Yeah. It's. It could be looked at as a wedge as well, right? But this is essentially what is it? A symmetrical triangle, right? So we can be looking at something like this here. We're right at the resistance right now, which is why the price action is kind of failing to go. It is also very close to the 65% to the apex of the triangle, right? So that area would essentially be that zone to kind of look into for a breakout, right? Right now, 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in this 5-minute iteration. But as you know, as some of my master students are actually here present, let's see, the symmetrical triangle is actually a continuation formation when built or when formed during an upside, right? So during an uptrend. So this is looking good, man. It's looking pretty good. I mean, like always, guys, I don't usually follow too much formation theory on the 5-minute or the immediate short, like the micro time frames, right? Oftentimes we can get a lot of failure of these formations, but you know, we do our best. We try what we can. And then we succeed where we could. Right, so let's go ahead and go back to our broader markets, right? So it looks like we're kind of finding a little bit of a consolidation period right now. 435.80 on the SPY, right? SQQQ sitting at the 23.29. QQQ is looking pretty good at that 361.93. I'm liking it, you guys. Things are looking pretty good. I don't, however, like this little shooting star trying to print right now. It's still got about an hour. It's still got about 2 hours to close, though. That doesn't mean that it's going to lead towards the downside. It only means that it's printing a candle. Okay, it's just printing a candle. So let's go ahead and go over the scanner here and see what we have, right? So I guess we can always do the regular stuff, right? Like as far as performance, right? But usually I have a criteria that I look at for particular scans to see to scan the market for a potential runner or a potential loser, right? So a lot of those things come with just so much patience. I have a really simplistic look out of this, right? So now that I'm seeing these presets that TradingView has, this is enormous. This is an enormous amount of of information, right? So I usually do not do that, you guys. It's too big. It's too much, way too much, right? So let me get rid of that real quick right there and take a look at the Arca Scans platform, right? So the Arca Scans is this, guys. I take a look at the RSI period, the average true range, the average directional index, and also price, right? So if I were to show you exactly how I look at it, right, this is kind of what I would do. So RSI, I usually like to see this above or below or equal, right? So above or equal to 30 should be fine for now. We can actually see what it can do, right? So let's make sure that it loads up. So above or equal to 30. Let's get the average 2 range to have at least, since we are in the beginning of the day right now, it's gonna fluctuate a little bit. Also, it's in a closing period of 14 days, so we want to keep this to be, we want to move her, right? So let's see if we can get away with something above 90 cents of average true range, and then the ADX, which would be the directional index, right? So this would give us the market trend for either the bears or the bulls. So in this case, let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? So I can do above or equal 25. Let's go ahead and do that. So whenever we're at 25%, it does indicate a pretty strong trending market to whoever is leading that way, right? So, and when we're above 30, that's definitely a very, very strong trending market. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and continue on right over here and see what we have as far as a mover, right? So what is this ticker symbol? ABM, looking like it's, man, why are we so far in the time frames? That is huge, right? So we're getting a huge decliner right over here. You guys, we're looking for a long position or a long bias, right? So ABM, let me just go ahead and put it into the watch list here. I'm just gonna kind of breeze over it real fast, and actually, you know what, it would be better for us to look at it from this area here. So ABM, let's see what it's got for us, right? So NYSE ticker right here, and we want to look at the 4-hour time frame to see if we have some upside in the momentum versus volatility, right? So we have critical volatility. We're starting to get that pivot towards the upside. There could be a floor found in this ticker, right? So ABM could be finding a potential support, a very strong support, of which may be looked at actually in the 12-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got, right? So actually, yes, this is the top side of this range right over here. Let me get the averages out of the way, right? First of all, we're finding the support from the SMA 50 on the 12-hour and the EMA 21. So this zone here is entirely support, and this is why the price action is kind of rejecting falling from there. But that's not to say that it can't fall from there. I'm just saying that it is finding temporary support within this area here, and it could be that new demand zone, right? So a lot of the times this formation that's happening here could be a bearish one, right, as it is indicating a potential ascending broadening wedge. So ascending broadening wedges, you definitely don't want to trade on the third test of the resistance, right? But what I mean here is just for long bias, right? So if you're long biased this stock and you're trading this formation here, there could be a serious loss to take into consideration. So it would be something that, you know, the price action would do something like this, right? Or sorry, the formation would look something like this. So let's go ahead and line up those lines, literally this, right? So we're currently facing test number 1, test number 2, which could be possible to find some type of support here, get that upside to find test number 3 at about 49.38, marking a pretty nice gainer as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker for moderator Sebastian Lim. That is ticker symbol CARM. Let's see what it's got. So CARM, let's see. That is a NASDAQ ticker as well. We're actually making a pretty nice move to the upside thus far, right? So let me pull up the volume here. Well, actually, I can just show you on RVol, right? So let's go to the hourly time frame to see what's going on with volume and really get an idea here as to what could happen, right? So we're getting a little bit of an uptick here in volume on the hourly time frame. Let's see. This could start to revert to the upside, right? So critical volatility, increasing volatility, upside of the moving average with upside momentum. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And you can actually see that the moving average on volume is starting to pivot towards the upside. That means we're going to be facing a potential continuation to the upside. So the buy hourly still hasn't gotten that read just yet, although it is expanding from critical contraction, right? So yeah, it definitely has good potential. We're definitely catching it early. I think that this is something that can be looked at for actually a pretty nice mover, right? So this has an upside on the 4-hour already. So, and actually expanding from critical volatility. Yeah, this is looking not bad. So let's see if we can just mark off the chart in the areas of high potential, right? So we already made that top side to cover this ridiculous, at least the gap from here to here has been covered, right? So that is the most obvious resistance that we have marked off just like this. So let me just go ahead and put it down so you can see what I mean, right? This is that area of resistance that we're facing. Let me just color it red as it is a type of resistance. I'm going to go ahead and dim it just a little bit too. And then if the price action, let's see. We have another area of resistance right over here too, but let me see, historically speaking, yeah, that this area is relevant for resistance too. And it's very tiny, very, very short term. So if we do start closing candles above this area here of $6.65, and yeah, very likely we can continue to the upside for this ticker. And you can see on the DMI here, we're starting to get a nice uptick here. This is catching it a bit early too, brother. Even though we have like an extension right now here on the 4-hour time frame, we're essentially catching it early. RSI actually bouncing right off of that SMA 14, getting that upside pivot, and the MACD is also about to cross. Take a look at that, right? So the MACD is about to make its bullish cross to the upside above the MACD signal. Nice. Okay, so ticker symbol CARM, and not bad. Let's see the financials within this and see what it's got, right? So this is let's see. The market cap is sitting at a pretty comfortable 269.7 mil. Nice. The float is actually a 16. It's very small. So 16.26 mil on that float, right? So I'm liking. Yeah, I'm definitely liking it. I'm not sure if I actually put up this play just yesterday, but it's up 5% on the day. AAP was another one that I was looking at. I'm not sure if I made a video on it either. But it's making a nice move to the upside. Let's go ahead and go back and refer to our broader markets and see what's going on, right? So we're getting a cooling off period right now, 435.36. This is, on that SPY, right? So I don't want to say that this is very bearish. In fact, it could be reaccumulation for a continuation to the upside. Right, so yeah, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. It looks like Airbnb could be making a bearish move. Let's see what it's got. So actually, let me go ahead and go back and just do ABNB on the next chart. So right over here. So ABNB for Airbnb Inc. NASDAQ ticker, let's go ahead and take a look at that, right? So 4-hour time frame, potential downside here. So take a look at this. There is a slight indication here that the downside may be limited, right? So we have the SMA 14 support coming up, and if we're facing a temporary support here, then there could be two areas to look at for Airbnb, and this would be particular to the SMA 10. I would say right at about, let's see, about 122.44 could be that very discretionary support here. There is a possibility to get long the market here on Airbnb, as there is an upside still bleeding into the 6-hour. So 6-hour upside, increasing volatility, temporary support being found at that RSI. Right, let's look at the 8-hour time frame, and 8-hour time frame is also pivoted towards the upside with increasing volatility, and this also has a temporary retracement, right? So yes, I do think that this can be one of the targets to face here for a potential reaccumulation and then a continuation to that upside, right? So Airbnb looking pretty nice. I know that these tickers like these often play pretty well for options contracts, right? So I need you to be very careful when you are playing the options games, though, okay, you guys? Because if you don't know your Greeks, then that could be a serious problem for you. Wow, so we had the last green candle here above the moving average, so this was definitely trending, and this was definitely making a pretty nice move to that upside. I don't think it's done. I actually think we're going to find that support here and eventually touch the very obvious resistance of about 128.96, and that could be the high of day, right around that 120. Let's see what it is. We can come back. Yeah, 128.96. And I hate to point this out, right? So, but first of all, 8-hour time frame showing a broadening descending wedge. This is very likely to continue to the upside, as there is this formation here kind of happening. We already got several validations for it too. This is the formation that I'm essentially looking at, right? So this is a broadening descending wedge. There are a couple tests here but this does kind of give me a little bit of fear too, right? So if we do decide to come back, which is not always, we don't have to do this, right? We don't have to do what I'm about to say, but sometimes we have to take it into consideration whenever you're converting a newly, this was our resistance, right? So we converted this resistance into a newly converted support. So usually, oftentimes we come back and test it before a continuation to the upside. But this has a pretty healthy upside price objective, which could be located right at about 133.45. Again, guys, I'm not saying that we're going there. This is just traditional trading rules, as this is how we would trade this formation, right? So, and also we're looking at it in the 8-hour time frame. So this is, time is absolutely relative here. So there could be a reloading here and a continuation of this. One more thing. I'm sorry. I meant to tell you that I hate kind of calling this out, but there is, and I'm not sure if actually we already met that top side, right? So let me just go ahead and evaluate this before I show you something that I hate so much, right? So, as this could very well be a little cup and handle, right? So it could be looked at maybe even in a shorter time frame too. So this could have been the top side of it. This could have been the handle here, right? This area here. So let's just go ahead and draw it in and see if we had any potentials there, right? So just like this, we can take that top side of the cup like that, right? These formations don't have the highest hit rate in the world, you guys. Okay, so this is why I often don't call them out too much. Right, so I mean, if we have to kind of adjust our top side of the cup, then so be it. We can do something like this here, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and favor the bottom side first, and then we can favor that other side. So you can take a trend line from the top side of the cup to the very bottom of the cup here to get that price objective. So this would be your psychological target, right? So you apply it to the top side like this, and it's suggesting a top side of about 134.87, right? So if we extend another, we can measure that too, right? So if we extend the cup to this top side here, I don't think that that's necessarily the neckline, right? But I mean, 2% additional to the upside would put the target to be beyond our price objective, and that would be 139.02. But I honestly am favoring this target range right here. So now if we take a fib, very likely we can actually see a fib that has one of the very strong means, right? Yep, there you go. So we have the 1.618 golden mean located at 134.19, which is pretty much where this target is taking at 134.68. So geometrics are lining up here. There could be a reaccumulation phase just for now, and then the price action can continue to that upside to eventually meet that 135 to 134.19 target. It's looking not bad whatsoever. So let's go ahead and now pull up that ticker symbol RCRT, as this is one that I actually made a play out of, and Sebastian Lim called it out, right? So he said, brother, take a look at this. There could be some nice little opportunities there. So let's see. Let me get rid of this, and then load up the 12-hour. What time frame was I looking at this on, brother? Do you remember? Sebastian, was this the daily? Yeah, I think it was the daily, right? There we go. So broadening descending wedge on this one as well, right? So we still have 5 hours, of course, 43 minutes to close this daily iteration here. The price gap down. Let's see. So upside after an early downside, KC is rock solid as well. So KC, not bad, right? 8 hour and 5 day. Oh my goodness. The 5-day time frame is another interesting one. This is telling us that there could be a continuation to that upside. The support that you're finding right now is in relevance to the opening of the closing of the previous 5-day candle. And this was recently opened, right? So we have still about 3 days and 6 hours to close that. Another thing that we should keep in mind is that there is going to be a quadruple witching, actually, this coming. Let's see. Hold on just a sec, you guys. I just need to look at my positions here. Yeah, there could be a quadruple witching this Friday. Okay, where all major contracts are actually going to be expiring all in the money, right? So I'm talking about the quarter. It's going to be the quarter end on the let's see. It's also the options contracts There's a bunch of things expiring, right? It's a very important day for us to look at. It's going to be this Friday. And of course, tomorrow, too, is another day that we should keep in close consideration, right? So tomorrow is going to be the FOMC meet, which is usually what we wait for to look forward based on the inflationary report, right? So we got the inflation report today, positive 4%, which indicates that we're cooling off. But tomorrow is now what we're looking for, right? So this is now the markets are looking to see what Jerome Powell is going to say about our current situation. So now that we're cooling off, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, okay? I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this could encourage the Fed to start its first pivot. Okay, and I'm talking about pivot here, meaning that they're going to start making everything recover, bringing us back to that potential bull cycle. Of course, it's going to consolidate for a bit, but this is very good news for the overall markets. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye on the FOMC meet tomorrow, you guys, as that is likely going to affect the price action greatly. So this week is incredibly dangerous to trade. There could be a serious amount of up and down and volatility, right? So just watch out if you're a beginner trader. I would honestly, my mentor actually told me to observe the markets, right? Make sure to take in the price action in these critical events, in these macroeconomic catalyst events, right? So that you can see how the volatility trades, right? Just practice it, just look at it, make your thesis, and then come back to it when you are ready, right? So this is it is something of critical importance, right? For us to maybe consider not trading these highly volatile days, especially this week. This marks, I'm not kidding, this marks probably the most important week in 2 years of the markets. Okay, you guys, it really is like that. This is the first time that we may get the FOMC to pause on rate hikes, right? The Fed. So if they do pause, the markets will continue rallying. And if they don't pause, if they do give us another 25 bip rate hike, then there could be a sell-off in the markets or a reevaluated price, right? So not so inflated to the point that we're looking at SPY at 435, right? So there could be a retracement back here to I would say the space of about 429 to about 425.89 if that news just so happens to come in negative, right, you guys? So keep an eye on the FOMC meeting tomorrow. We, as investors, as retail traders, we want to make sure that we are on top of that information. Okay, you guys? So yeah, RCRT definitely looking at the potential of reaccumulating right down to this area here of about 2704 to the gap of about 2607 too. If there is that, very likely we can find a bounce to the upside. We're already getting some pretty nice upside signals in this. This is just it's part of the natural ebb and flow, right? Especially when you're trading this for a massive upside as the one that I'm potentially suggesting here, right? I'm talking about a week's time, maybe 101 to 117. Huge potential here. The first target of which is catching my eye would be around the 60-cent zone. So we'll go ahead and see what's going on with that, right? So Flame, how's VOCL going? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at VOCL and see what it's got for us, right? I did see that it made some interesting moves. I think it went up and then it went down. Oh my goodness. So okay, so VOCL holding that. Let me go to the shorter time frames, right? Let me see the hourly time frame to see where we are. That 435 zone, my goodness, man, that is a very dangerous zone to be in. So if we go to the 12-hour actually and just kind of retrace or a zoom out, you'll notice here that we have essentially failed this inflection zone here, which could have been a very strong demand at 446, right? So if we are looking at a reaccumulation here, then let's get creative here and see what we can have. Man, I know that there is also some pretty good news catalysts coming out for VOCL, some of which I'm not familiar with since I'm not actually trading this asset, but they're, we're sitting at a support. But yeah, I heard that there is a potential short killing type of group of catalysts that are due to come out for ticker symbol VOCL for Created Inc. If you guys are familiar with this ticker, this is the ticker that was essentially going to create the partnership between GTII and it for fighting the shorts. right? So this, the deal didn't go through, right? Both of the tickers ended up capitulating and ended up getting some negative price action, right? But there could be internally inside, company news here that could lead a potential upside on their own steam, right? So next relevant support that we're facing is going to be right at this candle here, which and it's very weak. It's going to be at about 4. Yeah, I would say, yeah. Man, in the shallow fours for sure. If we were gonna get that, I'm not sure, guys. But this, let's see the momentum indicators, at least in the immediate short-term time frame, to see where it's gonna go. At least for the rest of the day too. So, hourly time frame, stochastics are suggesting a downside here. Let's look at the RSI as well. The RSI on the hourly is starting to make a bearish cross here below that 14-day simple moving average, continuing on to that downside. So if there is a sign of hope in the shorter time frame, then that would be particular to the volume profile. Okay, so please notice here that you have declining volume with declining price action too, right? So usually when that happens, that indicates that there is a potential end to that current trend, right? So if that's the case, then then the target that we just talked about at that 420 funny number, right? There could be that support touch there before a bounce to the upside. But when we do get those bounces to the upside, they usually happen for validating a resistance, and that resistance could be found right at about 446. Right, so what would be good is that you can succeed the 446 and get at least a few candles starting to close in the 4 hour, and then thus creating that 446 into a form of support before a continuation to the upside. That would be the bull hopium right there, right? But please remember that yesterday we were also talking about that the dead cat bounce, right, that we were noticing, and that target I believe was let's see. It could be relevant to this right over here, resistance, right? Let me go ahead and measure that, right? So another little psychological target. Formations like this, not the best news in the world, but it's okay to sometimes speculate, right? As they would present a psychological price objective, right? So that bottom side target would be, let's see, what do you know? Right at that 420 as well. So I'm definitely looking at a potential support touch at that at that very interesting 420, and then a temporary upside, right? Very likely to come back and test the resistance of the range between 501 and I would say a little bit higher than the prior resistance. So about 501 to around 522, that could be that resistance validation. We got to just keep an eye on this, man, and just see what's happening, right? But yeah, there's still that natural ebb and flow happening to this. It's just a massive downside that it's experienced, right? But, geez. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. Looking at the upper time frames here, and I know that I also had, hold on just a sec. Let me go ahead and check this out here and see if I had my other trading view chart where I have my VOCL thesis, right? So here it is. And let's just go ahead and take a look at this formation happening, right? So as I do see a potential something, and that's this is in this time frame. Yeah, we got that support, in fact, right? That bottom side support. This is the larger term time frame, broadening descending wedge that I've been kind of looking at, right? We also have a falling wedge. It feels I'm going to be very honest here. This formation feels a little forced. It feels a little weird here, right? But it is still viable. It's still within the breakout zone. And remember here, too, that we're talking about the relevance of the weekly chart, right? So, we're holding that support even still. So there could be a chop zone between the areas of about literally that 420 to about that 453 to the top side of this area here, 507. So it's still kind of rhyming within the immediate short-term targets that we were just talking about. So, this is just, it feels like shorts have a little bit of control over this, but they're now starting to see if they can double down for a continuation to the downside. I'm not sure that that's entirely possible, but nothing is guaranteed in the markets, right? So Sebastian Lim coming in with is really quiet, right? So let's go ahead and just take a look at that real quick, because this is one of those tickers that I have been covering for quite some time, as I am still kind of looking for this topside target. It is green on the day, so that's still good, right? 175. I am looking at the targets of about 199 to 205. I know a couple people in the Discord were actually asking what the targets were for Viri, but these, remember, these are relative to some short-term time frame the targets, right? So I mean, if this thing continues to the upside and starts especially covering or closing candles above that 363 area, then oh my goodness, that would mark a pretty nice little slide all the way up to around 576, followed by just some targets that I'm uncomfortable talking about. Right, you guys? But yeah, I think ticker symbol Viri is looking very good thus far. I know some people were also looking at that COSM ticker that I've been covering too. So let's go ahead and just kind of give it a quick little gander here and see what it's got going in the charts, right? So let's see here. Let's see. Okay. So it's I don't want to say it's like break even, but it's green on the day. It's not bad. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at these charts to see if there's anything that we need to look at for the immediate short term, right? As everything is just, man, everything is just kind of consolidating. Same weekly formation as the VOCL. That broadening descending wedge looking very interesting, right? So now in the shorter time frame, we still have that upside pivot on the 30 minutes. It is bleeding into the bi-hourly, which is very nice. The 4 hours indicating a resistance level. So yeah, I'm actually seeing a continuation of maybe some consolidation for COSM, at least until we get probably another type of positive catalyst. Until then, we don't know what's going to happen, but it's looking mighty potential-ish. Right? So let me go ahead and go back to the other screen over here and take a look at the markets. Let's see what's going on with the ticker symbol SPY. 435.62, potentially trying to get that continuation to the upside. So 2065 here on the SQQQ. I almost felt like this was just going to, I mean, it did make a downside right here to 1998. It's already, man, that's super low. I don't think I've seen the SQQQ that low ever. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to look at every time frame here, or at least, the entire trading history. This is in price discovery. Wow. Oh, wow. So this is if you guys are not familiar, this is the Pro Shares, the Ultra Pro short for the NASDAQ index, right? So whenever the NASDAQ goes up, the SQQQ will go the inverse, right? So and the way that you can see this is here on TradingView. If you click on that plus right up here, right, and add it to your you can add it as a new pane, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the NDX on a new price scale, and this is how you're getting that very direct inverse correlation of the broader markets, right? So if you are uncomfortable to bet against the markets, as in short position entries, then you can bet against the markets using the SQQQ long, right? So if the NASDAQ and the S&P are going to come down, then the SQQQ would essentially go up, entirely inverse to the markets. What I do have to warn about looking at tickers like this is that it is 2 times the leverage, right? So you could get 2 times the win, but you could also face 2 times the loss, right? Of course, my brother, let's go ahead and take a look at ticker symbol TQQQ, which is actually the Pro Shares triple long, right? So this is also part of the NASDAQ, except that this one is triple leveraged, and this could face some serious losses as well, right? So yeah, it's very similar to what's happening with the SPY right now. SPY is actually facing that little bit of consolidation. It is starting to get some upside, but still within that 435.29 inflection zone. Please remember here that these are critical resistances and new 52-week highs, so it is going to to take some thrust for it to actually move to the upside. 12-hour time frame, volatility versus momentum looks healthy as all hell. Very, very nice. We're getting that very bullish cross on the MACD 12-hour here. This is looking absolutely powerful. Take a look at the ADX at 41%. My goodness, the bulls, the DMI plus is absolutely leading the way. We have volume upside of the moving average here. This is absolutely trending. Okay, you guys, so 12-hour time frame still has about 5 hours and 26 minutes to go. I'm not sure that it's going to be able to close on the green, as there may be that high of day printed on that 39.80, right? So if this actually closes beneath the prior 12-hour candle, which is the opening of, you can see them right over here, the OHLC, right? So that is 38.50. So closing beneath 38.50 on this 12-hour iteration would mark a bearish engulfing iteration here, and that would essentially kind of pressure or give us an idea that there could be a downside to look at, right? So now let me just go ahead and show you one more thing here, as there is a slight potential of that very thing happening, right? So what I'm going to show you here is actually a bearish divergence. Okay, so we're getting declining volume with inclining price, right? So that creates a bearish divergence when it's volume versus price. Okay, so if we are to look at our RSI, let's look at it maybe in the 12-hour to see if we have anything of concern there. Okay, so let's see. There could be, yeah. If we, in 5 hours and 25 minutes, if we close this candle with a downside here, that's going to create a pivot on our, that would create a pivot on our RSI, right? So if that happens, that's a strong if, okay, you guys. So if that happens, let me just go ahead and mark it off like this and show you. If that happens, that's going to create lower highs like this, right? So it's not confirmed yet. It would create lower highs while the price action is creating a series of higher highs. Okay, so particular to this formation, just like this. Let me go ahead and show you. So the pivot is landing right at this candle here, and this would be essentially that pivot that would mark the first iteration of hidden bearish divergence on the 12-hour. We don't know yet. We still have an eternity. We still have an eternity to look at to close this 12-hour candle. So yeah, but very, very good question here, my brother. Yeah, let me go back to the SPY and see what's going on. SPY is still trying to rip to the upside, looking very healthy. In fact, let me see what that formation is looking like. As opening value on this is 434.04. Closing on this here is 434.03. So slightly out of the money to create a bearish engulfing, or bullish engulfing, right? So that would have been nice, but it's not quite there. But it's okay. It's entirely okay. In fact, what we're looking at here is probably a short-term bull flag, right? So yeah, this is an immediate short-term bull flag, right? So very, very little healthy reaccumulation before a pump to the upside. Again, guys, I don't know that we're gonna face a continuation beyond that 437.18, as 437.18 could have been the high of day. We don't know yet, because actually, you know what? One little tip here and trick to the people listening. When we do have the time frame of about 9:30 to 10:30 a.m., I've noticed a shift in the algorithm for the trading sessions, right? So meaning that if things are retracing and retracing and retracing into that time frame, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, my apologies, then there's usually a follow-up to the upside, right? So I don't want to say that that's always going to be the case, right? But I want to just kind of present it and put it out there for us. Let me get rid of this real quick, you guys. It's putting some pressure on the graphics card, right? So yeah, I don't want to say that that's essentially what's going to happen here, right? But as far as like ABM and other tickers that are capitulating, like VOCL, because I mean, first of all, those tickers are following a broader perspective, right? I'm talking about a decentralized perspective because they're OTCs. All right, so let me get rid of this right over here and make sure that I can keep an eye on that SQQQ. So now let me go back to that ticker symbol RCRT to see what it's got so far, right? So I know that there's a couple people long on this ticker in the, okay, so yeah, we got that 26 or very close, yeah, 26.96 retracement, right? So we're getting that support. Let's see if we can find that here and then continue on to the upside, right? So let's see the daily time frame. Let me pull that up and see what it's looking like there. Okay, yeah. Not bad, man. So what I do have to say is that there is an invalidation zone. So 2340 marks this gap here. So closing any, I would say a minimum 4-hour candle below that would actually increase the chances of the price continuing to the downside here, right? So 1940. Let me bring up a couple other tickers here in this multi-view and see what else we have, right? So in fact, I'm actually curious to see even what GTII is doing. Man, come on. I hate that I have to search it like this. So, global tech oh my goodness, still industries. Let's see, there you are. Goodness, can't even find it. All right, so 4-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got. It's actually down in the day, still facing the supports that we were talking about, right? 83.31 is the low of the day. Wow, oh wow. So that's right where I was saying that we could actually face that support, right? So GTII, oh man, I already closed my window with all of my thesis, but it's all good. Let me load up in here. I don't know. Let's go ahead and have COSM as well. Let's see what it's doing. 328 still lingering within that target that we were looking at. So break even from Friday, even still. Right. So and now, let's go back. Let's go back to the broader markets and see what's going on, you guys. So let me go ahead. Please let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. Right. So let's see. Rosie Gray Glass is saying ham call in 7 minutes for GTII. Unusual for him to have a morning call, so could be important. Yes, that's actually a very, very good thing to point out. All right. So and where's that? That's a space call, right? I'm not even sure how that can actually be put up, right? But yeah, it could be very important, man. I'm not exactly sure what the heck could be going on, but GTII is finding just this continuation to the downside. I see a potential downside on it too. I called this target before, but it gets a lot of speculation, right? It gets a lot of it gets a lot of emotions moving, right? So there are several things kind of indicating that there could be a drop to 70 cents, right? And this is a chart that I haven't really shown too much, but this is in respects to an ascending triangle here, that this is a rising wedge. Sorry, this could actually be one of the targets, right? So we already faced the two sets of bears, right? The first set of bears was actually taking a trend line from this area here, right? And slightly different time frame, but that first target was looked at to be at about 114, of which we landed perfectly and resisted from perfectly as well. The next time frame is actually right down here, and it's perfectly touching that support. So we're looking at 84.01, and I actually went down a little bit lower from it, right? It went down to the low of about 83.31. So that is now the second set of bears met. The other target, that's just ridiculous. The 45-cent target is literally where we bounced from to get that massive upside. First of all, the upside that we got as a 350% move to the upside or something like that, some crazy number. Take a look at that. Actually, no, it was way higher. So 552% to the upside based on this target that the triangle is suggesting that the price can go to. I'm not sure that we have enough liquidity to go all the way down that low. I was talking about 70 cents, not 45 cents, right? So, geez, Louise, I mean, that would be terrible. Very, very, very obvious declining volume here. And that declining volume is also faced with a downside here, right? So could that be an indication that there is some slowing down of selling, of short selling? I'm not sure. Sebastian Lim saying, sick of GTII. Man, I'm sure you and so many other people are also feeling the same thing. Right, so yeah, GTII facing serious pressures over here, but I know that it has a lot of sentiment backing behind it, right? There's a lot of people within this asset and a lot of people who are also trapped, right? So right now we're getting a pretty nice little bump on the daily time frame. ADX 19% and increasing, and the DMI mine is represented by the bears is inclining just a little bit too. Okay, so this is still facing some broader market pressures, and I think it could be with its own pressures as well. I'm not sure of the fundamentals based on GTII, right? But I mean, I like the fact that we're not capitulating like this, right? We're getting a slow, very, very gradual curvature here, which could be an indication of a potential floor being found relatively soon. So the 70-cent target that I was talking about a few months ago, or maybe 2 months ago, it's in relevance to this low right over here, right? January 19th, 2023, we faced a drop here to that low of about 70.50, and that is essentially what I was looking at as a potential, just a very strong demand zone. And the demand zone is actually a range 70 cents to about 60.47, and then the most obvious range would actually be right back down to that 40. Let's see, this low right over here. So that's a low of about 45.50 to the low of about 43.02, right? So that would be the largest official demand zone that GTII has to offer. And to tell you the truth, if price action even decided to go down that low, there would be an explosion to the upside. If the price action did reach there, I'm not even going to kid you, I would probably get long heavy at that point. What I would have to mention, though, is that it is also an invalidation area, right? So as this current price, I'm talking about relatively current, right? I'm talking about after the massive legs up that it's been doing over its trading history, right? So you can see that the price action was kind of lingering around this block here for quite a while before it broke it and made now a new chop zone, right? So this is, I'm talking about the space between 2021 and arguably speaking, right over here, right? So February 2021 to present day, this chop area would be invalidated beneath the 43-cent zone, right? So closing candles beneath that 43-cent would essentially create a drop that can go to 30.50. Again, guys, I'm not even sure that we can reach 45 cents at all. I really don't think there's enough liquidity to get it that low. In fact, the 70 cents is even making me feel weird. I'm not sure that we can even face that, as there is a clear support right over here within that 83-cent zone to about 86. And that's it's been holding, right? So, and now I'm just going to go ahead and show you why that could be the case as well. So if you look right over here, right, there is a gap that we're currently facing that support from. So that's one of the areas, and go ahead and notice how perfectly the resistance is right now from this zone here. This is the price action right now. We are presently at 84.99, and you can see right over here that the top side of this candle here is 85. The lower side of this candle here is also 85, and we are at 84.99, right? So there are, several iterations to where we have faced perfect touches of that, right? This right here is 84.93. This right here, 85.06. This one down here, 85.10. Yeah, so literally right within that area that we're talking about, right? So that could be a zone that we're facing some serious support. Also, for the fact that it's also the second set of bulls that we faced, right? So this trend line would be the one that you take from the center of the triangle and you apply it to the breakout zone to give you a psychological target, right? So that target led to 84.06, and the low of day is the 83.31, right? So yeah, we kind of met that target pretty dead on, right? So again, you guys, I don't know the fundamentals too much within the ticker symbol GTII, but there is a lot of sentiment behind it, right? So but Rosie Greer Glasses, thank you so much for coming by and letting us know that there is that call. Fill me in. Let's see what ends up happening, right, within that call. So let me go back to the broader markets here, and man, we're still lingering around that very same 435 zone. as this could, I'm saying the 437.18 could be the break of market structure here, because this can indicate a continuation to the upside even still, right? So let me pull up the SPY in a bigger screen here so that we can see exactly what I'm referring to, right? So go ahead and notice right over here, this top side, this was Tuesday the 16th, August 2022. That was the 52-week high. So we have officially broken that, right? So this is a break of market structure, okay, you guys? So the resistance that we're facing right now is pertinent to a lot of areas within this zone here. Also, this gap right over here, right? Another gap resistance within this zone too. So, yeah, like I said, it's just breaking above this zone here would usually indicate that we need a retracement back to that 431.89 before a continuation to the upside. But now, since we did gap up massively, that has created an inflection zone for us, right? So this inflection zone is a gap located between 434.63 and about 433.85. So this is now a new thing for the shorts to combat, right? So this is going to mark a very strong support. All right, so yeah, the SPY is looking very healthy. I definitely think that we can continue to the upside here, given that we have good macroeconomic releases, right? So again, you guys, please keep in mind what the FOMC is going to be saying tomorrow, right? So let me see what's going on here with news regarding this. So the bull market has left these 20 companies behind, but they are primed for growth. Oh my goodness, right? So let's see, fund managers not trying, not buying a broad bull, remain underweight stocks with some sentiment low. Okay, well, yeah, that's probably because of tomorrow, right? So we have some low sentiment because the Fed is probably going to say, yes, we're looking good, but we still have to raise rates by 25 bips or something. And then there we go. We're going to just capitulate to the ground. I hope that's not the case. I do not know or pretend to know what the Fed is going to say. We don't fight the Fed. Okay, you guys. So we're only here so that we can prepare for a potential continuation in the markets, right? So we need to prepare for the situations. We need to be reactive to whatever they do. We shouldn't be magicians here and trying to see if we can actually predict his future. We can't do that, okay, you guys? Only he knows what we're going to be doing, right? So please be careful with all that stuff, okay, you guys? So let's go back and take a look at that ticker symbol RCRT as it has made. I mean, the early pre-market on this ticker made a massive run. What was it, man? I think it was like a 65% run. I don't even know how far it went up, man, but it was nice. It was a very cool run. Let's see, up to the highs of about, man, what was it? 42.40. Jeez. Currently sitting at 28 right now, still finding that support from that 26.94 that we were talking about. Right, so I'm not sure that this is going to be the end of it, but no way. What's SONN doing? I also closed my full thread on that one. Damn it. Man. So SONN actually met the statistical targets that we were talking about. So that's a very good thing too, right? So even our short-term play, all of it got met, right? So wow, 77.60, right? So let's see what that resistance could be. Let me go ahead and see. Oh my goodness, man, that is ridiculous. So 12-hour time frame, it happened in the after hours, right? So I'm not going to lie, this is a little dangerous. It's printing a huge shooting star here as a 12-hour. It still has 5 hours to go. Anything can happen, I get it. But I mean, that is just a massive shooting star candle. Usually suggests a continuation to the downside. Do not take that as any type of financial advice. In fact, don't take anything of this as financial advice. Just take it as entertainment purposes only, okay, you guys? But yeah, there was a very critical resistance within this area here. In fact, it came just short of it. So that resistance level could have been 81.98, but the top side came up to be, let's see, about 77.60. Not bad, right? There is a clear overextension here on the 12-hour RSI, as it is in the overbought area, the daily time frame as well. But historically speaking, if we just kind of zoom out, we can see what the potentials of this can be. just potentials, right? They're only potentials. It's not saying that we can go there, but this iteration here back in, let's see, 2015, May 18, that has 81.47% RSI read, and we're currently sitting right now at about 77.75, so it still has quite a fair bit to consider, right? So also notice here increasing bull pressure on the MACD daily. So ticker symbol SONN may not be done. Oh my goodness, man. This thing actually could continue to the upside even still. Jeez Louise. Oh, goodness gracious. We also have, look at this, daily time frame, contraction in volatility with an upside pivot on momentum. Very, very, very likely for this to continue to the upside. Let's see the 8-hour time frame, right? So, yeah, the 8-hour time frame, upside critical volatility, upside even still on the 6-hour. My goodness, man. Yeah, this is a 6-hour. Wow, look at that. ADX sitting at 52% on the 6-hour. That is massively high. So that is definitely indicating that there is just absolute bull control right now, right? So 46% on the 8 hours. With the DMI plus very well on top of the DMI minus. My goodness in heaven, that is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, I think right around this target here was where the statistical side actually ended up meeting, right? In fact, I can load it for us, right? So SONN, let's see what, I know I had a few back tests on this, right? So it actually could be this one here, the bi-daily expansion to contraction. Let's see. Actually, no, that target. Let's see. Yeah, the upper bound of the first standard deviation was indicating the high that we actually faced on the previous 2-day. So yeah, it met it, man. It met it absolutely met the 92% average thrust. I mean, first it was a standard deviation of 59.34%, right? But then it absolutely met the mean and definitely met the upper bound of the first standard deviation as well. Very impressive moves here. I'm not sure where it can go from this point, as the buy daily is actually a critical expansion, and we have a downside on that stochastic. I'm not sure that this is the capitulation period. I in fact don't think so, right? But it's important to keep an eye on things like this as well. Okay, you guys, let me take a look at the broader markets and let's see what's going down, right? So Sebastian, what are you long right now, my bro? What are you long? And let's see, man, still lingering around that, right? We're still lingering around that target that we looked at, 436. In fact, it's just a little bit up. We were looking at 435 just a little bit ago. So it's not looking bad at all. It's still doing its thing, still looking okay. The QQQ looking at okay. It's man, you guys. And ABM actually marking that short, still making that downside, right? Huge 4-hour bearish engulfing. Oh my goodness, look at that tiny little candle here. That could lead to a serious capitulation even still. So, right, that was that other ticker that we were talking about, right? You said that I put it up a few days, I'm sorry, like 2 weeks ago or something, right? So SFR also was one that made a very, very nice upside. And you said that so it did meet all the targets, right? So nice. And it actually did it all well within the ranges, right? Too. Damn, I never actually really saw this, right? But we put together this play here for, I think it was on the 1st, right? So in fact, we got the downside here. It eventually met this. I didn't mean for this to be a 2-week swing play, but it did meet every single target that we talked about from the play, even the runner's range, right? So my goodness. What's up, Gary? How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Hey, Arca, how are you? Just wondering if you have any info on ticker WKHS, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So WK HS is the ticker to look at, right? So let's see. All right, so it looks like I haven't really covered this at all, but yeah, let's view it. Let's see what it's got going, right? So 92.49 on the day. It's definitely up on the day. Very, very nice. Okay, let's see. could it really be what I'm looking at here? Let's see. Yeah, there could be a potential breakout happening soon for this. And I'm not sure if I'm eyeballing this correctly just yet, but this could mark, let's see, this could mark a broadening descending wedge as well, right? So something along the lines of maybe even, actually, yeah, it's maybe even this, right? So this looks like it's actually trying to meet that resistance level. That resistance top side on the daily could be about 96.14, and there is a clear uptick actually in, let's see, man, RSI bouncing right off of that SMA 14. The EMA 3 is about to influence the SMA 14. Critical volatility. In fact, the volatility is starting to expand. Very interesting. Okay, so this WKHS could be loading up for a very nice move to the upside, right? So this could be the third test coming up, says Sebastian Lim. So we have the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have a serious resistance coming up at 96.11, 96.14, but I would have to express some serious danger within that, right? And the reason why Sebastian Lim just said third test is because the third test of the resistance usually leads to the biggest capitulation event from it, right? So again, it doesn't have to be that way, but more often than not, the third test of the resistance leads to a pretty nice capitulation. I mean, if you're long this ticker, I would seriously start looking at the potentials of, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So just be very, very careful with what's happening here, because Sebastian Lim is absolutely right. And there could be a bull trap in line here, even if it doesn't face the 96.14. Let me go to the daily again and talk about that. So even if it surpasses the 96.14, there could be a top side to face here at about 102, and that could be the tweezer top right here. So that 102 target could be another, or the top side of the range for a potential drop. My goodness. So in fact, geez. Okay, so this is still trending markets towards the bears as well, actually. Let me see. You know what? I haven't pulled this up in a while, but I'm pretty sure that I can do something for us. Let me see what DBSI is telling us, right? So the bears are barely leading anything, right? So they have a 3% gain. And let's take a look at the 6-hour time frame. Bears, okay, that's where they're starting to kind of gain on us. Right, let's see the bi-hourly bears, 33%. Okay, so the bulls are still, the bulls are still in relative control right now. Oh, okay, so here's where things are starting to look a little weird. The hourly time frame is way overextended. We are increasing volatility while overextension. That could present some bearish, a bearish outlook, right? So now let me go into the bi-hourly, but the bi-hourly has a really nice upside, and so does the 4-hour. Yeah, I think I'm going to favor the 102 target for a potential retracement, right? So, like I said, doesn't always have to retrace back on that third test, but very often the third test tends to be that it really does tend to be that the retracement period, right? So, yeah, in this case, my goodness. Oh, yeah, man, I would be very careful with this, but it's looking nice. 102 would be my top side. All right, my brother. So, but thanks, Sebastian. That was a very cool, very clean call, as you know that there could seriously be some pressures to be looked at from that third test. Lots of people don't know to look at that, right? But that's why we're here, man. Look at this, the SPY consolidating even still. It's literally backing my thesis here that we could have faced the high of day, right at that 437.18. That could have been the high of day. 364.60 on the Qs. And man, COSM just a little bit up on the day now. 331. It was at 328. Just a little bit of go. Not bad, right? So this is that short that I was talking about on ABM. I'm sorry. There could be the reaccumulation here. So I think it could still go a little bit lower here to probably 44.11 before finding that actual support and then making a pretty nice move to the upside. But, you know, as long as we do get increasing volume while price action is declining, that is that is supportive of the downside, right? You guys, so man, look at that. The SPY just can't leave it. It can't leave the 436. It's sticking with it. It's sticking within that target there. So yeah, man, congratulations if you're in on that ticker symbol WKHS, but it's looking very good, right? So let me go ahead and come back here and take a look at that ticker RCRT once again. I know a few people in the Discord are long that ticker, so still sticking within that support range that we are talking about, Sebastian. So let's see if let's see if it can actually hold it, because I still see a pretty nice upside to this, right? So notice here on the daily RSI that we actually have that support of the SMA 14 right down here. It's not always that we retrace all the way back to the SMA 14 like this iteration here and this iteration here, right? They're just upside of the 14. That can also be a potential possibility here too, right? So to the fact that we're actually touching down on the SMA 14 in a shorter time frame, right? Like this, right? So we're currently facing that downside on the 12-hour. So if the 12-hour does continue a little bit here, the daily can help with that forward look for a potential support. So you got scared thanks to what? Sorry, let me see. I can't even see that. Thanks to RCRT. Goodness gracious, man! Don't get scared, brother. Don't get scared, man. All right. So yeah, this is looking not bad. So you know what we can do, Sebastian Lim, is we can actually take this to, why don't we actually do that? Let's go ahead and finish off the stream here and continue the live stream in Discord, right? So we can actually get some people talking back and forth. So let's go ahead and meet the members and see what we have there. All right, team. So let's just go ahead and cut off the live stream here. And if you don't have the link to Discord, then go ahead and click on the chat, as this is the area where you can come and meet me there. I'm just going to go ahead and stream for the community, and we can actually all talk, right? So that can also, you can, if you have a mic, you can also speak to me there. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and finish off the live stream here and meet at the Discord and see what we have there. All right, team. So I will catch you soon. It was very nice to stream here in YouTube for the first time in a long time in the early AM. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this as often as I can. Okay, you guys. So, but with that said, just give me about 10 minutes and I will be in the Discord streaming to the members there, and we can all speak. All right, you guys. So I will catch you soon. Let's go ahead and finish this off now. Thank you, team. Have a good one. Catch you soon.